Hello friends, Mr. Skitarii Tamari here, and yes, it feels a little bit odd to say that and not be like joking or memeing or something, but yeah, it's real. Tomorrow will carry with it the 10th anniversary of SKULLS, and this is going to feature Fat Shark, and they're going to show the Skitarii class that's coming to Darktide. I am 100% certain of it. I'll bet my channel on it, right? This is a more or less data mined fact at this point, and this is something that people seem to be a little bit confused about. They are like, oh my gosh, are they going to sneak launch this? And when is it going to come out? And what's it going to come with? Is it going to be a new enemy faction? Of all those questions, some of them we don't know, but for certain, it's not launching tomorrow. So I wanted to make this video just as a last minute kind of refresher or a bump to get you up to speed on what you can expect to see. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe somehow this is the first piece of information about this is catching your YouTube algorithm. Cool. And by the way, while I've got you on your algorithm here, check out my stream tomorrow, because I'm going to be streaming. If you guys didn't know, I stream quite often, mostly Darktide, but sometimes other games, usually about 6 or 7 Eastern Standard Time. But tomorrow at 11 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be live here on YouTube and on twitch.tv/MrRatLING. And yeah, we'll just be kind of doing a watch party for SKULLS. Not just the Darktide stuff, but all the SKULLS sort of reveals for the Warhammer goodies. And that'll be a fun time. And so I wanted to stop plugging myself there and actually talk about what are we going to see at SKULLS. What is going to be shown for Darktide? So obviously, we're going to see the reveal of the Skitarii Alpha Primus class, and it will include the release date for the class. Now, this is not something that I factually know, but I would give it like a 99% certainty it's 1 month from tomorrow, because that's exactly what not the HiveScon, but the RBDs was. And that will give players a time to wishlist it, to hype up about it, and it will give Fat Shark time to run an event in the interim and make good on all those new eyes and traffic coming through the game. The trailer tomorrow is almost certainly going to be a banger. This is going to be their A team, right? This is the biggest stage they will have all year, the most eyes, the most sort of press they'll have on any update for the rest of the year. So they got to make it a good one, and it's going to have a lot of polish. And we won't, however, see the deluxe edition weapons or the pricing or any of that sort of stuff. I would have to assume the pricing is going to be the exact same. So it's going to be $12 for the base class, and I think it's like 18 or 19 for the deluxe. But all that deluxe edition stuff usually comes out at some point between now and the release date, usually like a week or two from the release date. So we'll know exactly the arsenal that we'll get by then. But tomorrow we'll see just when the class is going to release and a couple of its sort of skills and things that it can do at a baseline. Now, immediately following this class announcement, there will very likely be an event going live in Darktide. That event will mirror the event that happened for SKULLS last year, which was a sort of SKULLS themed event where we broke totems. Breaking those totems dropped SKULLS we had to destroy to progress the event objectives. And this year, again, we will be breaking totems in order to drop SKULLS, but this time around the SKULLS are servitor drones, and the servitor drones have to be hacked to get the data, and in doing so you piss off enemies, you summon enemy hordes, you have to fight the hordes back. It's a pretty fun time. This event was actually pretty good last year, so I'm pretty excited for that. And another reason to be excited for is that last year this featured 500 Aquilas for accomplishing the highest level of the goal. So this is a trend that has been kept with the other 2 class releases of having 500 Aquilas be the top tier reward for completing the event. So we can expect 500 free dollar dues for doing that. And of course, speaking of cosmetics in the Aquila shop, we held off on the rotation for the shop last week when it should have rotated because of SKULLS this week. So we are going to be seeing a rotation tomorrow, and that is probably very highly likely bringing the bangers back, right? They're going to bring in the big guns, the best sellers of all time for the shop. High potential, high likelihood for even 2 pages as they have done in the past. So there'll be multiple offerings to thumb through on the classes. Of course, not the DLC classes. That is verboten. That is not happening. But you'll have all the legendary sets that we have seen over the years. Those will be on full display. Now, there is a potential also that there are some new sort of offerings that are AdMech themed, but I think that might be being held for the actual release of the class because some of this stuff has like crossover with the Skitarii itself. So yeah, that's what's going to happen in the immediate aftermath tomorrow, and other sort of capitalist things I should mention, by the way. If you are interested in getting the DLCs for the classes, the Hive Scum or the RBs, you don't have them already, or maybe you need the base game for Darktide, or you want to gift someone the base game for Darktide, very, very likely to be steep discounts on those. I think it was like 30% off for the RBDs when the Hive Scum launched, so expect to see like an $8 price on those, and then the base game will probably be like $5, and they may or may not even do a free weekend as they did with the Hive Scum or the Winter, just to get to like more players and more eyes on it. So look out for that sort of stuff if you are interested in that. Now let's move forward a little bit in the timeline. What will happen between this tomorrow and the release? Well, of course, we'll have that event running, but also there will be dev blogs, as they did last year, as they've done, for all things previously for these big updates. Every week they sort of walk out a little bit of it. So we'll expect to see, okay, here's a bigger look at the class. Here's a bigger look at its abilities. Here are some of its talents. Here are its weapons, etc., leading up to the reveal. So we'll get more and more information as time goes along. You just tune in over here and I'll read it out to you. You know me and Sloptide News. We got this covered for you. But yeah, that stuff will be sort of slow rolled out over the weeks to come. And then on the release date, what is coming with this patch? That is a big question a lot of people have. What is this patch going to entail? Of course, it will contain, as the headliner, the big sort of meat of this sandwich is the Skitarii Alpha Primus. And of course, it's deluxe edition cosmetics, all that stuff. That is the thing that is going to be headlining this patch. There will be something else. We don't know what, right? It's not going to be just this. Last time around for the RBDs, it was the campaign overhaul, and for the Hive Scum, it was the No Man's Land operation map, etc. So we can expect something of that tier. Hey, maybe even better. But this time around, let's first talk and focus in on the Skitarii Alpha Primus. What is this class? What can you expect to see with this? So a Skitarii Alpha Primus is a little bit of a higher ranking Skitarii Legionnaire. The reason we are a higher ranking Skitarii is because, at least in my opinion, the reason they would choose this is because a common rank and file Skitarii are not exactly known for having much of a personality or individuality or free will even. They are oftentimes more or less piloted by their tech priest masters, so it would be awkward to have that as a kind of existing notion when we are supposed to be playing as them and sort of controlling our own characters. So I think that these Skitarii Alpha Primus have been chosen here because those Alpha Primus tend to be a little bit more independent. They actually have free will. They can operate and make their own decisions, and they are known to kind of go off the grid and operate on missions on their own without any direct interaction or direct intervention for months at a time. So they'd be a good fit for our player characters here. This Skitarii is going to have 3 archetypes that have all been data mined. The first is Ranger. This is going to be the default archetype. This will be the one that it automatically gives you when you start. And this one is focused in on shooting and marking targets and just making certain your shots are hitting, staying on the target. Their ultimate has something to do. It's unclear from the wording that was data mined, but your ultimate is pretty much like aimbot. It's going to make your aim very, very tight. It's going to make certain your shots are hitting their mark, and it uses a special resource called capacitance that I believe is shared between all abilities on the class. So capacitance seems to be a mana style of an energy, a battery energy more or less, for the Skitarii that when it is higher, you can spend it to get additional effects on your ultimate ability. So a cool new way to use your ultimates, I guess you could call them abilities in Darktide, but yeah, those abilities are going to be modified by your capacitance level. Now the other 2 sort of archetypes and their abilities, it's unclear what this second archetype's ability is going to be, but it is going to be the Sicarian Ruststalker. So this guy is a berserker / assassin, uses transonic blades, and is very fast and very furious. Too fast and too furious, some might even say. But yeah, bloodthirsty, blood-crazed, murderous style, and probably has some sort of like pounce or maybe even pseudo-stealth ability, like a gap close. And then the third archetype, I think probably this will be interesting for a lot of people, is an Electro Priest. It is straight up said in the game, the data mined Ukrainian Steam page files, that this is going to be able to conjure electrical storms. And so you'll be able to conjure powerful electrical storms using that capacitance. So really cool there. And this is not all that this class has going, this capacitance thing that sets it apart from the other classes. It does have another sort of well, it has a couple other very unique gimmicks that are going on with it. It also has a resource system that is a progression system, very much like Hive Scum, and it's Cartel Special stims, where as you progressed as a Hive Scum, you unlocked more stim points that you could allocate to making the stim stronger in different ways. This is instead going to be allocating core power. So you will gain more power that you can allocate to your systems. TBD what those systems actually do, but it is noted that, yeah, you gain more core energy that you can then distribute and give your Skitarii different effects. Then let's talk about the Skitarii itself, not from a gameplay perspective, but from a cosmetic perspective. The model of the Skitarii is not classed in the same way as humans are, or even Ogrins are. It is, I believe, modular. So the cosmetics and stuff are very unlikely to be shared between classes, because this class is almost certainly going to have modular parts that will not fit the typical humanoid frame. So we'll have special cosmetics that fit exactly them. And there is even stuff in the code about different metal colors, etc., coming to the class. So we are going to be able to like kind of mix and match, as you know, Skitarii are famously modular and adaptable. So we'll be able to pick our manufactorum. You'll be able to cosmetically enhance your servitor drone, which I believe plays a big part in the class. I believe that the Blitz abilities are all servitor drone themed, or relate to the servitor drone in some way. So expect to see that tied in with all of the archetypes here. And then we also, I mean, unfortunately, by the way, this does mean that it's almost a certainty that we will not be getting any additional DLC cosmetics for this one after the first set, because they are going to be more sort of in-depth to make than they are for the other classes. But I bet we'll get a good host to start with, because this is going to be an absolute gold mine for them cosmetically, you know. Plus, of course, there'll be some for unlocking penances and stuff as per the Hive Scum we can expect. But yeah, let's talk about weaponry. What is the class going to have? There have been a number of weapons, like a lot of weapons, honestly, data mined that are within the files for this patch. So many that I am uncertain where the line is drawn between what is going to be on this class, exclusive to this class, and what is going to be offered generally to other classes. I currently believe there might be a 4-and-4 split, that there might be 4 melee weapons and 4 range weapons that are exclusive to the Skitarii. We have, at the very least, for the melee weapons, we have the Transonic Sword, Transonic Knife, the Arc Maul, and Power Sword. TBD whether those are exclusive to the Skitarii or not. We also have the Arc Staff, the Galvanic Rifle, which might also be a pistol, unclear from what I was reading here, and then the Phosphor Pistol, which is really awesome, like being able to focus target mark stuff. So we have at least 5 or 6 exclusives to this class, and then we also have the data mined information for a third mark of the Power Sword, or third variant of the Power Sword. The 2 existing variants are the Power Falchion and the Veteran's Power Sword, and then the 2 existing marks of the Power Maul are the actual Power Maul for the Ogren and the Crusher? Or is it the Battle Maul Slab and Shield? I can't remember, but yeah, it's going to be a different family of weapon, one would have to assume, and people are saying that that Power Maul is going to be the Arc Maul, and that the Power Sword is going to be like a Martian sort of, like a Skitarii Legion sort of Ranger styled Power Sword. But remains to be seen. There is a very, very high potential that other classes will be receiving weapons with this patch as well. It will not just be the Skitarii getting all the fun. There will also be cosmetics for all classes. There have been some data mined little snippets about backpacks and whatnot that have servitor drones attached to them. So we might even be getting cosmetics that have animations associated with them, where a servitor drone hovers around your character if you have a cosmetic, which sounds super fucking hyped from the description that I saw. This is really, really awesome. I am definitely getting that. And then, of course, we can expect to see balance changes, etc., etc. They are in the throes of balancing Darktide, and there has never been a major patch that has not come with some sizable balance changes, so expect to see that. Plus, there is a pretty high likelihood that another event will occur when the release itself happens, just to keep people playing and good stuff like that. So that is all the stuff that we can say for certain. Now, about what we can expect outside of this, as I said, the meat and potatoes here is the Skitarii class itself. As for what we can expect on the side, I would not get my hopes up that it's anything really, really like cataclysmically big. I would be excited for a single map and a single enemy. That would be like a really, really big win to me, but I genuinely have no idea what to expect outside of that. Yeah, at current time, it is unclear, and they will make that more clear as time goes along what we can expect with the patch. But yeah, that's what you can expect timetable-wise and what to look forward to, guys. It's going to be an exciting month ahead, getting to learn more about what's going on with this class. It certainly seems, from everything I have seen, like even knowing like what the class is going to be, you know, basically like having it spoiled, as you would say, for me by all these leaks. Yeah, I'm still so excited for it because this is like the stuff that is coming out here. Oh, by the way, it has 2 voices with timbre sliders, which sounds like to me you can make your voice deeper or higher, or perhaps even make it like more or less like synth, like robotic sounding, which would be pretty fucking cool. So yeah, there's so many novel concepts and interesting things going on here that I just cannot help but be hype. I'm really hoping that more content gets added so we can play this Skitarii into it. But yeah, either way, like this class seems really, really cool. And of course, I'll be covering everything about it. But anyway, that's everything I have to catch you guys up on for today. We'll see what the day unfolds with tomorrow. See you there, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check me out here. And bye-bye, guys. Have a good one. Mystery out. Bye-bye.